Okay, so before we uh, discuss this, so I will just have a brief introduction about the previous topic. It's all about the artificial neural network. So what is artificial neural network? So when you say ANN or artificial neural network, we call it the ANN. Uh, the inspiration is the human brain because the human brain is made up of neurons. Now, since this is artificial neurons, what does the or what does the artificial neuron or what do the artificial neurons uh execute? So they process data. So most likely, the artificial neurons, okay, is simply process data, recognize patterns, and make predictions. So that is the whole definition. Okay? And then a single layer perceptron is the absolute simplest form of ALN. So the SLP, that is the simplest form of an ANN, containing only one layer of output. So when you say single layer, containing containing only one layer or output of neurons. So these are used to make decisions. So what is an ANN, by the way? As we already know, as we recap, the ANN is composed of thousands or millions of interconnected artificial neurons, which are used to pass information to one another to solve problems. Now, to make this, we have the input layer for the ANN. We have the input. The input layer usually receives raw data, but we also have hidden layers. These hidden layers, these are the thinking hidden layers that analyze complex features. Okay, and then the output layer produces the final prediction or the final decision. The final decision can be prediction. Now, as we discussed the SLP, as we already know, since this is the topic that we are discussing, the SLP is developed or was developed in 1957, uh, meaning it has no hidden layers because it is called a shallow network. Take note that the SLP, we will be discussing the limitations, who found it, functions, and the single layer continuous perceptrons. Now, what is perceptron and a single layer perceptron? Okay, now to understand the terminology, it is called shallow network. Is a shallow network. Okay, meaning no hidden layers. Okay, so it is used most likely in binary classification. Okay, so for example, 0 or 1. So it is different from the fuzzy. Later in the finals or in the next topic, we will be discussing fuzzy logic. But we are first discussing the artificial neurons, which is the single layer perceptron, which is used only for binary classification, sorting data into one of two categories like yes or no or 0 or 1. So how does it work? That is the question. How does the single layer perceptron works? Okay, take note of this. The single layer processes information actually in four steps. The first one, this is the input. So usually the function of the input signal receives uh, receives measurable pieces of data. Okay, in this case, we have x1, x sub 2. Example of it is x1, x sub 2. So these are the input. Now, the second one is the weights or synaptic weights. The weights, every input is multiplied by a weight. So you will be multiplying the input to its weight. The weight determine how important, determines how important or strong a specific input to the decision. That's why we have weight. Then this is the weighted sum or the summing junction. That is the weighted sum or the summing junction, or we call it bias. Okay, the perceptron adds all of the weighted inputs, all inputs together and adds a bias. Now, think of the bias as an anchor that shapes the decision making or the decision making line, making the model easier to fine tune. So, for example, in this equation, we have this one. This is the bias I am talking all about. So, this bias, as it think of it as an anchor. Usually, it used to shape the decision making line. For example, in this equation, the V sub k summation of WKJ times X sub j plus B sub k. Okay? Now, this is the activation function wherein the final sum is passed into activation function, checks if the number crosses a certain threshold. If it does, the neuron fires. So therefore, we are checking a specific threshold. So it checks the number crosses a certain threshold. It can fire a neuron if the output is 1. If not, output 0. So that is, so depending on the output. Okay, so there would be a neuron. It would fire a neuron if the output is 1. Okay, so this is uh, an example of the perceptron. Okay, so we have two kinds, discrete and continuous. Now, as we continue the topic, okay? So, okay. So going back, so as we continues, okay, this is the activation function. Actually, when we say the activation function, it is the final sum, okay? So the final sum is S, okay, which checks if the number crosses a certain threshold. That is the activation function. Now it can fire 0 or logic 1. Now, to understand, maybe I can give a real life example wherein we can have an idea. Okay, so this is an example of a SLP architecture. We don't have hidden layers here. Example, imagine you want to predict whether a person will default on a loan or not. That is the scenario. Okay, for example, we have uh, in the input, we have X sub 1 as credit score. This is an example where X sub 2 is annual income. Again, the scenario here is uh, predict whether a person will default on a loan loan or not. So we have inputs here. Now for the weights. Now the perceptron might learn that credit score is very important. Let's say W sub 1.7. That is the important and slightly less important, for example, for the annual income point 4. Now the decision, the output layer for the decision, it can be now calculated if the result above, for example, if above 500, the perceptron output is 1. It will be approved. Now, if it's below, let's say reject. that is zero or reject. That is using decision making. Okay, that's an example. Okay, so if, for example, I have 0.7 for the weight. So if the output is, then you take the summation, the output is above 500, the perceptron output is approved. If not, rejected. Now, the limitation, because it is only a single layer, a perceptron can only draw a single straight line. That's why it's called linear separability. It can easily handle simple logic gates. That's why we have implementations in logic gates in AND or OR. Okay? Now, at complex structure such as nonlinear problems like the XOR, where the data cannot be clearly separated by one straight line, it will be fail completely. So it is only applicable, the SLP applicable for linear. Okay? For example, for logic gates of and OR. Okay? So if not, maybe it will not applicable for XOR operation. Because the XOR, we already know that it is nonlinear logical problem. Now, there are multi-layer perceptron, which can be include the hidden layers. I think that would be the next topic that we will be discussing when it comes to artificial neural network. Okay, these are some of the uh, this is why I'm talking about the linear separability. When we say linear separability, applicable for single layer. Now, for those who are nonlinear, most likely the exclusive OR problem, and which can be discussed at the multi-layer perceptron in the next topic. Okay? So, that is how we discuss the SLP. Okay? So now, I think I can have some multiple layer perceptron, uh, a short discussion so that you can have an idea. Okay. Okay. Now, as we continue the discussion, uh, to upgrade the SLP, we have the MLP, the multi-layer perceptron. So what is this all about? It's an upgrade of the SLP. It is called the deep artificial a deep ANN that can solve complex real-world problems. Now, it is different from the single layer, which the single layer only has input and output because it has hidden layer. Okay. Now, we already know that the input receives the raw data. The hidden layer is one or more layers that extract deep patterns. Like, for example, in the concept of AI chatbots. Now, how does an MLP work? Okay, so most likely, the MLP learns and improve by passing data forward to make a guess and then passing error information backward. So, how does an MLP work? So, similarly, forward propagation. Okay? So it's like making a guess. Okay? So data moves from left to right through the network. From left to right. Okay? Through the network. Okay? Now each neuron is a hidden layer, takes inputs from the previous layer, multiplies by the weights, adds a bias, and runs them to a nonlinear activation. Unlike with the SLP, which runs in a linear activation, it runs in a nonlinear um, activation function. Now, when we say uh, runs in nonlinear activation function, we can see XOR operation or XOR problem. Now, what else? We have the backward propagation. When we say backward propagation, it's like learning from mistakes. Just like in our chatbots using ChatGPT, it can learn from mistakes. We call it in ANN, we call it the backward. So how does it happen? Now, first we calculate the loss. Okay, the final output is compared. Imagine the final output will be compared to the actual correct answer to calculate the error. And then the network passes an error backward from right to left. Then optimization algorithm calculates how much each weight contributed to the mistake. So what is the simple analogy? Okay, for the simple analogy here, imagine, let's say for example, you have an input layer, then you have hidden layers. Okay, then you will be using back propagation to review and to defect or to detect. So it's very important to learn from its mistake. It can handle also linear data, not like images, voice data. Okay, so that is an example. Although we will be discussing separately in our next meeting. So I think you have already idea what is the difference of the single layer perceptron and the multiple or multi-layer perceptron. So I think I can now start.